All right, what's up, guys? It is June the 5th. It's hump day, Wednesday. We got a full card, couple day games. Gonna try to get into this, put you guys on some winners again. Man, what is up with the Dodgers? Getting shut out by the Pirates. Just pathetic. That team is terrible. Cost us some money in the parlay. Should have just stuck with the Reds as well. Instead, the Rockies can't hit either. But other than that, good day overall. Got burned by the Nerfy. Ryan Pepio giving up a home run after getting a quick strikeout in the bottom of the first. Oh, that was frustrating because I had a lot of money on that one. But it is what it is. I'm going to have some days like that, but I can't get on the Dodgers again. But let's get into it. Don't want to waste you guys' time. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on so you get the videos, all the shorts, anything that is posted as soon as they drop. But let's get into it. Don't want to waste anybody's time. Let's go. All right, first game of the day going to Fenway. We got 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing straight out to center field. This is why this total is sitting at 9.5 most places. 85-degree temperatures should be a good hitting environment. Nick Pivetta going for the Red Sox. He's coming off 9 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings. He's given up home runs in 4 of his last 5 starts. And then Spencer Swellenbach making his second start of the season. He gave up a home run to the Nationals in 5 innings. He had 5 strikeouts, 3 earned runs. Yesterday was on the Braves. It was pretty much all Braves yesterday. They've continued to own this matchup. So I kind of lean to the Braves. I do have my issues with Schwellenbach. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of experience. But the one thing is the Braves lineup has owned Pivetta. Marcell Ozuna, 6 home runs, 14 RBIs, and 18 at-bats versus him. Matt Olson has a home run. Orlando Arcia, a guy I might look at for a home run again today. 2 home runs and 7 at-bats. Austin Riley, 2 home runs and 18 at-bats. Travis d'Arnaud, 1 home run in 6 at-bats. So they have owned Nick Pivetta. They're hitting 232 versus righties over the last 10 games, 228 over the last 5. Red Sox hitting 257. I'm just going to go with the over in this game. I kind of lean to the Braves, but I think we can see some runs. So give me the over. All right, the Cardinals Astros here. Yesterday was on the Astros. Even without Kyle Tucker, they got it done. I kind of might have to go back to them. Astros pretty heavy favorites again. It might be that they're starting to find their groove here. Both bullpens used up quite a bit yesterday, but we're seeing both high-scoring games. The Astros won by 3 runs on both games. Both obviously went over. Miles Mikolas going. He can definitely give up home runs. The Cardinals did hit like 3 home runs yesterday. Burleson, Mason Wynn, Nolan Gorman all continue to hit well. So, I mean, Blanco's going here. He's given up home runs in back-to-back starts. His last outing versus the Twins, he got roughed up quite a bit. He can still get strikeouts. He averages about a strikeout per inning, but he can also walk batters and give up home runs and hits and stuff. So, kind of leaning to the over in this game. Miles Mikolas, he can definitely give up hard contact as well. I was trying to get to the Cardinals, but I don't know. I kind of like the total again. Both bullpens been spent. If it was at 8, it would probably be a more of a lock, as the people say. I hate using that word because there's no such thing in sports betting, but you can get close to it sometimes. But you're looking at the Cardinals hitting righties 261 average over the last 10 games. Astros hitting 240. Even without the Kyle Tucker yesterday, the Astros still put up 8 runs. So it just goes to show you they don't need him specifically to continue to get wins now that they seem to find a groove. So kind of leaning to the over. If I had to pick a side, it would be the Astros. But Bregman starting to get going now. Yordan Alvarez obviously can crush righties. On the other side, the Cardinals, like I said, Nolan Gorman, 10 home runs, batting 242. Burleson, 6 home runs, batting 307 versus righties. So we got some good guys here. So I lean to the Astros as a side, but I think the over is more in play. All right, going to the Rocky Mountains. I was wrong about this game yesterday. I thought there was going to be more runs. The Rockies just can't seem to contribute. You got Dakota Hudson going here for the Rockies. He is a pretty heavy ground ball pitcher, 54.6% ground ball rate this season, 0.8 home runs per 9. Not too bad. 42.5% hard hit rate is fairly low. On the other side, Graham Ashcraft, 45.5% hard hit rate, 1.4 home runs per 9. 48.4% ground ball rate. So honestly, I'm kind of leaning to the nerfy in this game, as crazy as it sounds. But I think if I'm going to take a side, it's going to be the Reds. I just can't get on the Rockies right now. So for a side, I got to go with the Reds. They've owned this matchup. They continue to hit. Um, they're just doing more offensively. They have the better bullpen. I could see this being another under. The total's at 11.5. We're seeing like the wind blowing in 10 miles an hour. I mean, it's still hot. It's going to be a hot afternoon in Colorado, but the wind is blowing in. We only seen 5 runs yesterday. It's crazy. It's big plus money for a reason. Obviously, Coors Field nerfies definitely hard to hit. So I don't blame anybody if they wouldn't even want to touch this, because it is pretty crazy. And the one thing I will say is the Cincinnati Reds, 8 straight yes runs first inning as road favorites versus National League opponents. So that just fits into the narrative right now of this yes run first inning streak. So I'm going against that. So I don't blame anybody if they don't want to do this. But I'm attacking the plus money. I like how Dakota Hudson's a pretty good ground ball pitcher, and Gray Mashcraft could potentially get some strikeouts. So I think we could see potentially a lower scoring game to start. I don't know. It could be all Reds again. Gray Mashcraft has given up home runs in back-to-back starts, whereas Dakota Hudson hasn't given up a home run for 3 straight starts now. And he faced the Dodgers, the Phillies, and the Giants his last 3 starts. So he faced 2 pretty hard-hitting lineups and then a mediocre one, but he hasn't given up a lot of walks, hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs. He doesn't get strikeouts. That's the one thing. He relies heavily on contact outs and ground ball outs. So I could see this being a lower scoring game. I kind of lean to the under at 11.5. But if I had to take the side, I think I would go with the Reds. And the nerfy, like I said, it's a crazy one, but it's a gamble that I might take today. All right, going to Arizona. This is kind of a tough one for me. Kind of way I'm looking at is this is a true 50-50 game, in my opinion. The Giants put up 5 runs yesterday, but they couldn't get it done. D-backs put up 8, but now you got Jordan Hicks going. He can struggle with the home run ball, that's for sure. He's given up home runs in 4 straight starts. His strikeout numbers aren't terrible, but they're also not the greatest. When he starts missing his control, he does rely pretty heavily on ground balls as well. So when he starts missing and not getting those ground balls, he can get hit up. Whereas Jordan Montgomery, he can also give up a lot of hard contact. He can walk guys. He can struggle with control a lot. He just got rocked his last outing. 4 innings pitched, 9 hits, 8 runs, so 3 walks. So I don't really trust Jordan Montgomery that much. If the Giants are going to get a win, it's going to be this one. They could have won the first game. I don't love them as much versus a lefty, but it is a pretty weak lefty. The Giants in game 3 of the series, they're 7-3 overall this season after a loss at least. And then the D-backs in game 3's 4-7 after a win. So kind of riding that angle. I don't mind the Giants at plus money here. This is a getaway game. And honestly, it's one of those ones where it's a coin flip. Yesterday, we did a coin flip on the Rangers game, and it was wrong. But I'm going to lead to the Giants here. Not my favorite game. Might be staying away. We'll see what the lineup looks like. With Lamont Wade Jr. out, it doesn't really affect it as much because usually with a lefty, he wouldn't be batting anyway. But that does hurt them when they're playing, obviously, as part of their team, because he's a guy that gets on base. But versus a lefty, he doesn't usually, they don't usually put him in the lineup versus a lefty anyway. So him being out doesn't matter a ton. But I'm going to lean towards the Giants. All right, going to Washington. It is fade Patrick Corbin Day. I hate to say it, but he had a couple good starts this season, but for his last few, he's just been getting rocked, giving up the home run ball. He gave up 3 on May 21st to the Twins, and then he gave up 2 the next start after that to the Mariners. His last game, he didn't give up any home runs to the Guardians, but he gave up 6 hits in 6 innings, 3 walks. So he struggles with control. He usually is good for at least 2 walks minimum. The Mets, a team that doesn't strike out a ton, is hitting lefties much better. I mean, Luis Severino can give up home runs as well, but the Nationals just aren't really hitting home runs right now. So this Mets team hitting .323 versus lefties over the last 10 games when couple weeks back, 3 weeks ago, they were hitting like the league worst versus lefties. Now they're actually crushing lefties. So Pete Alonso went yard yesterday. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go hit another one. Maybe JD Martinez. You could look at some of the other guys in the bottom of the lineup, but I'm going with the Mets here. Minus 140-ish. Give me the Mets. If I was going to look at, let's see, let's just double check the weather for sure, because this game was supposed to be potentially some rain. The wind is blowing out 8 to 10 miles an hour, but I do see about a 70-degree chance that this game gets rained out. So I'm just going to stay away from props in this one. I mean, obviously, Pete Alonso is a guy to look at. JD Martinez for home runs. Maybe Brandon Nimmo. But anyways, just going to take the Mets in this one. Could get rained out. All right, we are going to Philly. We see 8 to 10 mile an hour wind blowing straight out to left center field. 83, 85-degree temperatures here. There's some humidity in the air. Good for ball carry. Hopefully the rain stays away. But looking at this one, Aaron Ashby's making a start, which does concern me. He hasn't made a start in the major leagues since October of 2022. He's been pitching in AAA, and he's got an ERA up over 6, almost 7, 6.8 ERA in 43 and 2/3 innings, a 1.97 WHIP. Definitely a little scary. His ground ball rate's 53%, but man, that's a little scary when you're getting to the Phillies team. Both these games so far have been pretty boring, low scoring, not a lot of home runs. Phillies are heavy favorites. I mean, it's for a good reason. Aaron Ashby could get crushed here. This is a tough game for me. It's Aaron Nola. It's a battle and Aaron's going here. My name's Aaron as well, so we got Aaron's everywhere. Aaron Nola did give up 2 home runs in his last start, both solo shots. He's done that twice in his last 3 starts. But his offense has backed him up, so that's how he continues to get the wins. His average is about a strikeout per inning. Aaron Ashby on the other side, I don't know what to expect from him. I don't know how deep he's going to go into this game. I just don't know if I can trust him right now. I was looking at the Brewers plus 1.5, but like I said, I have really major concerns with that issue there with Aaron Ashby. But the Cardinals the Phillies hitting 235 versus righties. Brewers hitting 255. Honestly, this one, I think you got to take the Phillies. Maybe the Phillies first 5 minus a half a run. I think they have the lead after 5 innings. If I was going to look at some home run props here versus righties, Contreras, good guy to look at. Willy Adames, Bryce Hoskins, we know he can hit home runs, especially in Philadelphia. Maybe Christian Yelich. Gary Sanchez and Contreras both have home runs versus Aaron Nola in their career. On the Phillies side, versus a lefty, Kyle Schwarber, 315 average with 5 home runs. Bryce Harper, 4 home runs, batting 274. Nick Castellanos, 4 home runs, batting 235. So 3 good guys I would look at. Maybe Alec Bohm, but all 4 of those guys potentially in play. But if I had to pick a side here, I'd have to go with the Phillies. All right, going to Progressive Field where the Guardians host the Royals. Yesterday, the Guardians got us done for us. I said I was like the Royals in the first 5. Bobby Witt hit 2 home runs. The Royals took like a 5-1 or 5-0 lead, and then they squandered it pretty quickly. So that was it was still Seth Lugo in when they blew the lead. So it wasn't even the bullpen that time, but the Guardians managed to get it done. 13 runs were scored in that game yesterday. We're seeing 12 to 15 mile an hour winds blowing out. I like the total at 8.5. At 9, I don't love it as much because now you got to get 10 runs. But the idea of getting 9 is potential here. As the game goes on, it looks like there's some storms that are rolling in, potentially some rain. So I don't love the idea of the postponement, but it could mean the starters get pulled early. When I was looking at this game originally, it was supposed to be Logan Allen. That's what I have on my spreadsheet here. But for some reason, it now is listing Nick Sandlin, and I don't have any data on him. He hasn't pitched, I don't think, this season. He hasn't pitched for anybody. I'm pretty sure it's a call-up, so I don't have any data on him. But I had to pick a side. I kind of want to go with the Royals, but I'm just going to play the over in this game. Over at 8.5, I think is just the way I have to go. I was leaning to the Royals at plus money, but I don't know what to expect from this pitcher. But I know Brady Singer's been fairly solid, and it's weird because he's on an injury report as with an illness. So if the starters get changed here, this game could be all over the place. So I lean to the over right now. I want to see some for sure confirmed information and lineups and stuff before I do anything with this one. Bobby Witt could potentially hit a home run again, though. He's now leads the Royals with home runs. He has 11 on the season, including 9 versus right-handed pitching. So he's raking versus righties. Hunter Renfroe hit a home run yesterday. And then on the Guardian side, I think it was Freeman who hit a home run. He's got 4 now versus righties. And I think Naylor hit a home run. He's now got 12 versus righties. So Jose Ramirez could hit one too. He knows Brady Singer pretty well. He's got 2 home runs versus Brady Singer in his career. 8 RBIs, batting .435 versus him. Josh Naylor has a home run in 21 at bats. So we could see some home runs in this game as well. So like I said, leading to the over here. All right, going to PNC Park, and we are seeing the Pirates as favorites right now. This is absolutely crazy. I don't think I've ever seen the Dodgers versus the Pirates as underdogs. Dodgers just got shut out yesterday versus Jones. Now they face Paul Skeens. Skeens' strikeout line is at 7.5. He did get 9 strikeouts versus the Tigers last outing, but he's faced some weak lineups. So this is going to be the toughest challenge for him so far. He's faced the Cubs twice, 18 strikeouts in those 2 games. He had 11 and 7. And then he only had 3 versus the Giants and then 9 versus the Tigers. So he's faced some pretty weak lineups. And I mean, right now, the Dodgers are kind of a weak lineup, in my opinion, too, because they're not hitting. Jack Swinsky came back yesterday. He hit a home run. It was the only run that was scored yesterday. This might sound crazy, but I'm kind of leaning to the Nerfy. I mean, honestly, I don't love James Paxton. He can struggle big time when it comes to walks, control. He's kind of so-so. But Paul Skeens is 4-0 this season to the no-run first inning. James Paxton, 8-2 no-run first inning this year. Dodgers aren't hitting. They might struggle versus Paul Skeens first through the lineup. I'm hoping. I kind of think this game goes under too. There is an issue with potentially of some rain again throughout the evening. The wind is blowing in 8 to 10 miles an hour. But as the Dodgers at plus money, I feel like everybody's going to see Dodgers at plus chicky, and everybody's just going to be like, hammer the Dodgers. But I think the Pirates being favorites here tells you all you need to know. So until I find more information about this game and as the day goes on, I can't back the Dodgers. Like, they burned us yesterday big time, and now they face a pitcher that they've never seen before. They can't seem to hit the ball right now. Their last 10 games. Well, let's look at their last 5 games. Their last 4 or 5. Look, yeah, they're averaging 3 runs a game right now. Like, they're 5-5 in their last 10. 8 of their last 10 games have went under. Pirates, 7 of their last 10 have went over. They're 4-6 in their last 10. So, and they're favorites here. That's crazy. I'm leaning to the Pirates, as crazy as it sounds, but I think I'm gonna potentially play the Nerfy in this one. So stay tuned on X. I might have to update you guys as more information comes out through. All right, what to do with this Marlins team? Man, they're frustrating. 3-0 early lead. Blew the Nerfy for me, and I was like, okay, well then maybe they'll hold off and get the win. Of course, they blew that, gave it up. They got crushed. I can't back this Marlins team. They're just way too inconsistent. There's nothing about them that I like. They're just barely plus money again. Totals juiced to the under at 7.5. The Rays have owned this matchup, winning 9 of the last 10 meetings. Rays are 5-5 in the last 10. Marlins 4-6 in the last 10. Zach Eflin going. He's been okay, not the greatest. Braxton Garrett, he doesn't get a ton of strikeouts, but he did pitch a complete game. Back on May 24th, he had 6 strikeouts versus the D-backs, 9 innings, 4 hits, no runs. So, I mean, this could be a potentially low-scoring game. Who knows? But I think I just got to stick with the Rays as much as I do not like the idea of taking the Rays right now. My small favorites. I gotta go with the Rays. Don't trust the Marlins. Don't trust their bullpen. Don't trust anything about them right now. They can't hold leads. I don't know. I just gotta go with the Rays, unfortunately. All right, Twins, Yankees. Chris Paddock going for the Twins. Fade. It is Carlos Rodon, and the Twins only put up 1 run yesterday. The Yankees have owned this matchup. They've won 7 of the last 10. They've swept the series so far this season. Four straight wins, all on the run line as well. Limiting the Twins have scored 2 runs in the 4 games that they've played this season. So 2 runs that they've scored. Now they got Chris Paddock, guy that gives up home runs. He gave up 2 home runs to the Royals his last start out. He's given up home runs in 5 straight starts. Rodon has given up home runs in 4 of his last 5 starts, but the offense backs him up. So in this one, I mean, the wind is kind of blowing in across the plate, but I mean, it's Yankees for me or nothing. I think you could probably even lay the run line again with the Yankees. So I think I'm on the Yankees. There's no way I'm taking the Twins with Paddock, and they just can't. They can't seem to get to this Yankees team, and I trust the Yankees way more. They're the hottest team in baseball right now. They're big favorites for a reason, but I just can't go against them right now. Just can't do it. All right, the Blue Jays are absolutely just a terrible team, and I'm Canadian, so that says a lot. We only have one Canadian baseball team, and they just cannot do anything. The fans are not happy. The team is not happy. They're not gelling. They just got dusted yesterday, 10-1. Their bullpen is terrible. Their Genesis Guerrero is terrible. I don't know everything about their bullpen. All these guys, they can't do nothing. So Orioles at PlusMoney is kind of interesting. It's Albert Suarez going, but he hasn't been like completely terrible. He's got a 1.57 ERA on the season. He's got a whip below 1. So this line kind of is interesting. If the Blue Jays do win one, it'll be this game with Jose Barrios on the mound. But man, the Orioles are hitting 286 versus righties. They're hitting home runs. They know Barrios really well. When you look at, let's look at all these guys here. McCann, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs, 24 at-bats. Ryan Mountcastle, 2 home runs, 19 at-bats. Cedric Mullins, 1 home run, 26 at-bats. Ryan O'Hearn, 2 home runs, 28 at-bats. Adley Rutschman, 3 home runs, 19 at-bats. Anthony Santander, 1 home run, 23 at-bats. This whole lineup pretty much knows Barrios very well. They've played against him lots. They're hitting the ball right now. The Blue Jays aren't hitting the ball right now, so I actually do lean to the Nerfy. I think I'm playing the Nerfy. The Blue Jays Nerfy has been a cash cow this season. I should have gave it out yesterday. I don't know what I was thinking, but Blue Jays Nerfies have been money, and I think the Barrios can do enough to hold them. But I'm taking the Orioles full game here, PlusMoney. It might be a trap, but I just do not trust this Blue Jays team offensively. Nothing about them makes me want to lay juice with them right now. So Blue Jays at -125, like even though it's Barrios, yeah, I don't know. I could see him. I could see him getting rocked. Honestly, like his last outing was good. It was against the Pirates, but his four outings before that, he's given up 2 home runs twice, a home run. So he's given up home runs in 4 of his last 5 starts. A lot of them have been somewhat like solo shots, but he can give up home runs, and then this Orioles team can hit home runs. So it's Orioles. It's Orioles. It's Orioles. It's Orioles. Orioles or nothing. No way I'm laying juice with the Blue Jays. Not a chance. All right. If this game wasn't played, would anybody really care? Because right now this Texas Rangers team is pathetic. They can't hit the ball. The Tigers, these games have not been interesting to watch. Like 3-1, 2-1. I don't know. Texas -130 favorites around there. Totals at 8.5. Juice to the over after 2 low scoring games. But you got 2 pitchers here with very low strikeout rates. Detroit in game 3 of a series this season, 5-12 overall. Texas 9-9 overall, 7-3 after a win. That's the only angle I have on this to lean to Texas. But I mean, these pitchers Ureña's given up home runs in 4 straight starts. Doesn't usually go too deep into a game. Sometimes he goes 5 innings at the most, usually. Kenta Maeda's given up home runs in 3 straight starts. He's been rocked in back-to-back outings. versus the Guardians and the Red Sox. I mean, the Rangers, like, is their offense going to finally wake up today? I don't know. Like, this is another flip a coin. Like, I can't pick a side one way or another. I mean, I was leaning to the Rangers, but I don't love that their offense can't hit. So this is a pass for me. I can't touch this game. All right, we are going to windy Wrigley, where the wind is blowing out again. This time out to right field, around 12 miles an hour. We got 80-degree temperatures. Totals at 8.5. Luis Robert Jr. is finally back for the White Sox. When he came back, I immediately bet him to hit a home run. He did. He didn't get it as quick as I was hoping, but he got it in the 7th inning, I think it was. The White Sox rallied. They took a 5-1 lead, and then they blew it, and then they ended up losing by 1 run. So they've now lost 12 games in a row, I believe. Obviously, it's really hard to back them. Cubs minus 175 favorites around there. I really want to get to the White Sox with Fetty, but in game 3 of a series, let's see, they're 6-12 overall, 2-10 after a loss. Cubs 12-6 overall, 4-4 after a win. I don't know, man. I kind of want to take the White Sox plus 1.5 here, but Eric Fetty's been somewhat solid. He hasn't given up a home run in 3 straight starts. No earned runs in his last 3 starts, so he's been dealing. And he's faced the Orioles and the Guardians in 2 of those. He faced the Nationals. So, I mean, he's faced some all right teams. Jameson Taillon, he's given up at least 3 earned runs in 3 straight starts. He hasn't given up a home run in his last 2 starts, but he's kind of been so-so. With Robert back, that does help. If Eloy Jimenez comes back, the White Sox get some injuries out. Obviously, with Tommy Pham out, it hurts them because and Benintendi's out, so they keep losing guys. So as you know, this White Sox team has struggled with injuries. That's the only issue. But I'm kind of thinking going back to Robert to hit a home run, especially with the wind blowing out. Taillon can definitely give up the long ball here, so I'm leaning to that. Yeah, I think it's White Sox plus 1.5 for me. I mean, I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to just take the Cubs. But Eric Fetty's been solid. You could take the White Sox first 5 maybe, so you don't have to worry about their bullpen blowing it. That might be the play. White Sox first 5 innings. You could take them plus a half run, or you could take them White Sox first 5 money line. That way, if it is a tie game, you get your bet back, or you get good plus money on it if they're leading after the first 5 innings. But don't hate me. I'm leaning to the White Sox first 5. All right, going to Angel Stadium in Anaheim. We got 6 to 7 mile an hour winds blowing straight out. We got 70-degree temperatures around first pitch. Total at 7.5 for this one. So we're seeing the Padres as favorites. No surprise. It's Dylan Cease going. So, I mean, I'm not really shocked. The Padres in game 3 of a series this season after a loss, 8-3 record. Whereas the Angels game 3, 8-11 overall, 2-2 after a win. So, honestly, their game 3s haven't been the greatest. I think Cease is the much better pitcher, but he's been given up 3 runs or more in 4 straight starts. He's given up home runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. So, kind of, I don't know. The Angels aren't hitting the righties the greatest right now. That's the only issue. Soriano has given up 4 earned runs in back-to-back starts. Gave up a home run in 1 of them. He's given up home runs in 2 of his last 3 starts. Padres hitting 269 over the last 10 games versus righties, whereas Angels hitting just 167. Look at the last 5 games, Padres hitting 348, whereas the Angels hitting 143. So I think the Padres avoid the sweep. I'm pretty sure this is the last game. I don't think they play another one. Yeah, I think this is the last. I don't know. Sorry, I was not prepared for that one. But I think you got to go with the Padres here. I get the plus money on the Angels is tempting. I think the Padres bats wake up and they back up Cease in this one. As much as I want to take the Angels, I think the Padres can get this one done. All right, last game of the night, the A's and the Mariners. Mariners got it done just barely yesterday. They have won quietly 8 of their last 10 games. 7 of their last 10 games have went under. Now you got Oakland. They've lost 7 of their last 10 games. 7 of their last 10 have also went under as well. So Mariners have won 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams. But Joey Estes went 5 innings his last outing, 5 strikeouts, 1 earned run to the Rays. It was a 4-3 loss. And then he pitched in that crazy game versus the Rockies. That was 19 runs scored in that game. But Logan Gilbert hasn't been the greatest lately either. He gave up 2 home runs to the Astros last start. I mean, it's the Astros, so take that for what it is. But he's been giving up quite a few runs lately. He had one outing versus the Nationals where he only gave up 1 run. He only had 4 strikeouts in 6 innings, and they lost that game. So I'm actually kind of leaning towards the A's in this game. This is a 4-game series. They do play tomorrow as well. You got Wu and Sears going tomorrow, but both these teams hitting just sub 200. I'm actually leaning to the under at 8 here. And I mean, I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to take the Mariners given their recent history, but I just think that the A's could potentially get this one. Maybe even the A's plus 1.5. You're getting a better number on that than you are with taking the Mariners in the money line. And then at least if the A's only lose by 1 run, you're still covered there. So leaning towards the A's plus the 1.5 right now, and the under at 8. I think we could see another 4-3 type game potentially. 2 offenses kind of struggling. Lots of unders lately. Not my favorite game right at the moment, but kind of leaning to that. Let's see. Shea Langoliers versus Logan Gilbert. He's got a home run in his career. And then on the other side, Kyle Riley has 2 home runs versus Estes in 5 at-bats. Julio Rodriguez has 1. Obviously, we know Oakland not have huge home run park, but it is decent hitting conditions. Slight wind blowing out, nothing crazy. 76 to 77 degree temperatures, so should be a decent night in Oakland, but I mean, 2 teams that are hitting sub 200. I'm going to take the underdog in this one. Don't love it. Don't blame you guys if you want to go the other way, given the history. But I'm taking a gamble with the Oakland Athletics plus the 1.5. Like I said, lead to the under at 8. All right, y'all. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on. Went through every game. Don't have any that I'm like fully in love with yet. I might try to put a parlay out later. We'll see as the morning goes on and stuff. But I think the Braves, the over in that game is pretty solid. That Dodgers Pirates line, really weird to me. Really weird line, but I mean, I can't really back the Dodgers in. I just seems like a trap at plus money. I think the Yankees are the most solid. Yankees and Orioles most solid plays for the day. Just got to stick with who's getting it done. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Good luck today. Peace.